important. It seemed small, too small to matter. He noted it, then forgot. It didn't ask for attention. Nothing depended on it. No consequence was visible. Nothing suggested it would return. At the time, forgetting felt harmless. Later, it was mentioned again, briefly, as something already missed. No one expected him to remember. Nothing happens. Almost done. He felt close to the end, not finished, but near, enough to slow down. Everything appeared to be in place. The effort was mostly behind him. Nothing urgent remained. Nothing indicated the end was already past. At the time, relief felt justified. The ending didn't arrive. It had already occurred. Quietly, earlier than expected. There was no moment to notice it. Nothing happens. Still possible. He considered it again, not seriously. It was still within reach, still an option. There was no clear reason to decide. There was time, or at least it seemed so. Nothing required commitment. Nothing pushed him forward. At the time, hesitation felt reversible. The option disappeared quietly, not announced, not withdrawn, simply unavailable. By the time he noticed, it had already been replaced. There was no moment where it clearly ended. Nothing happens. Not yet. He saw the beginning. It wasn't urgent. There would be a better time. Nothing required action now. Everything seemed open. Later felt safer, less exposed. Nothing forced immediacy. Nothing indicated the moment was already passing. At the time, delay felt careful. When he returned to it, the beginning was gone, not destroyed, just altered. It no longer required him. The opportunity had adjusted without him. Nothing happens. Still time. He checked once more. It wasn't too late. Close, perhaps, but acceptable. Nothing felt irreversible. Margins still existed, enough to relax. Nothing required urgency. Nothing warned him the margin was imaginary. At the time, control felt intact. The margin disappeared first, silently. Then the option followed. No collapse, no signal. By the time he noticed, there was nothing left to adjust. Nothing happens. Almost ready. He felt prepared, not completely, but close enough. There was still room to adjust. Nothing required finality yet. It didn't feel finished, but it didn't need to be. Nothing demanded completion. Nothing indicated the moment had already settled. At the time, hesitation felt precise. When he returned, the decision had been made, not by someone else, not by force, simply by time. There was no moment left to prepare. Nothing happens. Still enough. He checked again. It still worked. Not perfectly, but enough. There was room, just enough to continue. Nothing seemed critical. The margin was small, but present. Nothing required adjustment. Nothing forced a change. Nothing suggested the margin was already gone. At the time, continuing felt safe. The margin disappeared quietly without warning. The next step didn't fail. It simply didn't work anymore. There was no point where it clearly stopped. Nothing happened.